you the first time. You should listen the first time. But we're those kids with the Lord. He shouldn't have to count to 4 for us. If he tells us to do something and he alone knows what's best, not just for my life, but for everyone's life, why would we delay in that? So the heart of a servant needs to be submitted and it needs to be surrendered to him. Now, back in Galatians 5:13, it says to serve through love. But what love? We all have our ideas of love, and so often we get left with it just being a feeling. But the love he talks about in that verse is agape love. So we're serving him with the love that he poured out into our hearts. In John 21, Jesus talking to Peter, and it's after they just get back from fishing. So this is after his resurrection. And he's asking Peter, he asks Peter, do you love me? But he's asking, do you agape me? Do you love me unconditionally? And Peter's response is, I phileo you. I love you with affection, brotherly love. So Jesus asks him again, do you agape me? And Peter responds again, I phileo you. Affectionately love, brotherly love, not unconditionally. And then the third time, Jesus asked him, do you phileo me? Peter's a little grieved, but he responds, yes. And so often that's where we're at with our love for the Lord. It's affection only, and it hasn't moved to no matter what. No matter what. I'm going to serve you no matter what. Nothing in this world is worth your relationship with him. Nothing in this world is worth the peace that he gives in serving him. Sometimes we want him to be our servant, our prayers, as we're asking him to do this, and I'll do this for you, and it's this exchange. I'll love you if you do this for me. And that's not what it is, because he knows what's best for us. So often he says that there's no good thing he'll withhold from us. If he's withholding it, it's not good for you right now. And we've got to trust that and love him no matter what, because he already first showed his love for us, that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Now he tells us that if we love him, we'll keep his commands. And his commands, simple. Just sum it up. Love God, love people. One of the ways that we love God is by loving people. I have a son that is so hard for. He's like, I really love God, but those people. And I think so many of us could say the same thing. I really love God. I have all these feelings for him. But his people, or the other people that say they know him, but there's no fruit. And we have such a hard time loving him. But why? He's poured out his love in us. We have his love to give out. We do need to grow it. A good verse, a good chapter to look at when you think about love, that always comes to mind of how to love people. And we all know it, and I think it frustrates all of us sometimes. Karen was talking about it last week too, but 1 Corinthians 13. So we're just going to read it and look at that. Chapter 13, verse 4. Love is patient, love is kind, and it's not jealous. Love does not brag, and it's not arrogant. Does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own. Is not provoked. Does not take into account a wrong suffered or keep a record of wrong. Does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. That kind of love never fails. And so when we think about how are we loving God, he's loving through us, and he can love himself like that. He's the only one that has that kind of love. And when we want to love the people that he's given us to serve, that's how we need to love them. So it's really good to not just assume. Sometimes we read this and yeah, I'm patient. I dealt with that, and I was patient about it, and I was kind. I didn't say everything I was thinking. I could have said everything, and I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. I don't think I'm jealous. And I mean, I could have some of the stuff she has, but that's fine if that's not for me yet, Doesn't even look that good on her. We don't even notice that sometimes there's a little jealousy in there or something. And so it's so good to sit with the Lord and say, search my heart. And when you don't see those things, Lord, or those areas need to grow, you, Lord, by your Holy Spirit, help me to be patient. Help me to love like you. When he tells us to love our neighbor, he's not asking us just to love. He's asking us to love like him. Think of how he's loved you. How in your worst of times, when you weren't even walking with him, he still pursued you. How when you know you've made a mistake and you're feeling bad and he still is right there, never leaving or forsaking you, not condemning you. That's how he loves. And yet, if somebody wrongs us, oh gosh, we're ready to let them have it. And not just for that time. We've got the list. And then in February 1996, no record of wrong. Let it go. Forgive like he forgives. As far as the east is from the west. Which I was just reading Love the More Excellent Way by Chuck Smith. And I love when he talks about that, because he was saying how he's so glad he said from the east is from the west. Because if you say north and south, I do know where they are. I'm like, north and south. You can meet. At some point, if you go around the globe, you'll start going north if you're going south. And at some point, if you're going north, you'll go around and you'll go south. But if you go east, you'll never stop going east. You'll always go east. If you go west, you'll always be going west. They don't ever meet up. And that's how he throws our sin away that far from him, from as far as the east is from the west. That's how we need to be with people. I'm not going to hold it against you, hover it over your head. You don't owe me anything. Matter of fact, Romans tells us that we don't owe anyone anything except to love them. Agape love. Unconditional love. Not if you meet my conditions, I will love you. Unconditional. This is the kind of love that doesn't fail. This is the kind of love that needs to be in our hearts, and he's already poured it in our hearts. This is the kind of love that we can have hope that we'll see our family members come to him, because we're loving them like Christ loved us. When we're doing it our own way, we don't have anything to hope in. We're going to get our results.